Hello there, everybody, and welcome once again to Harrah's Hoosier Park as we are gearing up for our racing season to get kicked off on March 25th. But before we get there, we have the Road to the Derby Handicapping Challenge going on. I am, of course, the track announcer here, Michael Chamberlain, and I will be doing a series of videos that will be highlighting my selections for these races that are included in the Road to the Derby Handicapping Challenge. Now, the first of our races will be this Saturday from the fairgrounds in New Orleans, Louisiana. It is the Grade 2 Risen Star, and the Risen Star is at 1 mile and an eighth over that fairgrounds oval, and we've got a field of 10 going postward. Now, the contest, as I mentioned, will go on through April 16th, but this is our first race, so let's go ahead and take a little bit of a deep dive into this one. I said there's a field of 10. I think there are 6 candidates in here that really need discussing. The horse on the inside, number 1, Papa Cap, definitely merits a look. Tyler Gaffleone riding for trainer Mark Cassie. The sire here is Gun Runner. Won the first 2 starts right out of the box in May and August. Has not won since in 4 races since that, however, having finished second in the Grade 1 American Pharaoh and the Grade 1 Breeders' Cup Juvenile in Southern California, both times finishing behind Corniche. The next horse I like at a bit of a price is the 3 Trafalgar, 10-1 in the morning line. Colby Hernandez riding for Al Stall Jr. Now, I am very familiar with Colby Hernandez's work, having worked at Evangeline Downs for 6 years and called many victories by him. He is a very good rider, and certainly Trafalgar does not miss anything by having him in the saddle for sure. Hernandez has been aboard for the last 2 starts at the fairgrounds, a win on December the 2nd and a 4th on January 22nd in the Grade 3 LeCompte, a race that Papa Cap ran 3rd in. I also might want to add there. The third horse to look at is the 5 Epicenter. Epicenter will have Joel Rosario riding for Steve Asmussen. Now, Steve Asmussen has won just about everything in thoroughbred racing, but he hasn't won the Kentucky Derby yet. This might be a very good shot for him to get that elusive Derby victory. This Keeneland $250,000 purchase in September of 2020 was the runner-up in the LeCompte and went right to the front, tried to go all the way in front, got caught right at the end by Call Me Midnight. Prior to that, did win the Gun Runner at the fairgrounds on the day after Christmas. Had one also at Churchill Downs on November 13th. That's something to think about going forward to the Derby. The horse does have a victory already over the Churchill Downs surface. Next one we're going to take a look at is the 7 Zandon, Jose Ortiz riding for Chad Brown. A win and a second in 2 previous starts, both coming in New York. The win was the Maiden Breaker, first time out on October the 9th. Backed that up with a second in the Grade 2 Remsen, finishing second there to Mo Donegal. And Mo Donegal closed in the Kentucky Derby Future Wager, the most recent one, at odds of 14-1. Zandon is inexperienced with just those 2 starts, but certainly could maybe throw a little bit of a wrench in the works here in this race off those 2 starts. The 8 Smile Happy is the 7-2 morning line favorite here. Corey Lannery will ride for trainer Kenny McPeak. The sire Run Happy was a Breeders' Cup Sprint winner, and this one is out of a Pleasant Tap mare. 2 previous starts, both at 1 mile and a 16th. Now, that's a very interesting thing to note because normally when you start a horse, you start off at a sprint distance, try to work up to those longer distances. You start, 5 furlongs, 6 furlongs, and then you go to 2-turn races. Not with this one. Smile Happy 2 mile and a 16th races previously, having won the Maiden Breaker at Keeneland on October the 29th, and then backing it up with a win in the Grade 2 Kentucky Jockey Club on November 27th, that coming over Classic Causeway, who won the Sam F. Davis this past weekend at Tampa Bay Downs and is another very strong Derby candidate this year. The last one we like is the horse on the outside, number 10, Slow Down Andy, a very successful set of connections here. The owner, Redham Racing, the trainer, Doug O'Neill, and the jockey, Mario Gutierrez. Those are the same folks that were behind I'll Have Another back in 2012. Hard to believe that's 10 years ago already, but I'll Have Another did win the Derby and the Preakness before having to be scratched out of the Belmont in that 2012 Triple Crown season. A little bit of unfortunate that he didn't get to go for the Triple Crown, but Slow Down Andy is a horse that has won 2 of the last 3, including the Grade 2 Los Alamitos Futurity in the most recent start. So how do we think this race is going to go? Well, I don't see a very great amount of speed in this race. And to that end, I think that number 5, Epicenter, is a very strong top pick in here. He's 4-1 on the morning line, and I think that he's just going to go right to the front and could just dominate matters all the way around the racetrack. The only horse that I think could possibly give this one a bit of a speed match is the 6, Pioneer of Medina, and I just think Epicenter is a faster horse than Pioneer of Medina, and therefore Epicenter should be able to dictate the pace and dictate his own terms as far as the way that he wants to run the race. And I think Epicenter is going to be a very strong horse with Joel Rosario in this field to defeat. My second choice is the horse on the inside, Papa Cap. Now, Papa Cap, as I mentioned, has not won in a bit of time. Those first 2 starts, one in May, one in August, were both victories and did run second in a couple of Grade 1 races behind Corniche in Southern California, but again was third in the Grade 3 Lecomte at the fairgrounds in the most recent effort on January 22nd. Now, that did come off of a layoff, so it's entirely possible that Papa Cap just needed the race to get back into form, and now second start off the layoff could really pop a big effort. Tyler Gaffalione, as I mentioned, will be riding there for trainer Mark Casse. Third pick is the favorite, number 8, Smile Happy. Now, I mentioned that this horse has not gone a shorter distance than 1 mile and a 16th, and that is going to be the case here. Once again, as I mentioned, the Risen Star at 1 mile and an 1/8. So Smile Happy with those 2 victories and some pretty tough stuff in Kentucky certainly is a worthy favorite in here, and this one was 8-1 on the last Kentucky Derby future wager, that 8-1 being the lowest odds of any individual horse. All other 3-year-olds, the field in those bets usually gets bet pretty heavily, but this was the lowest priced individual horse in that last Kentucky Derby future wager at odds of 8-1. And I think Smile Happy is one of the 3 definite candidates in here to win. And I did mention I like the 3 Trafalgar at the price 10-1 on the morning line. That will be my 4th selection in here with Colby Hernandez. And they're adding blinkers to Trafalgar in this start. So that's an important equipment adjustment to note with the number 3 Trafalgar. Now, our play for this race, we've got a 50-cent trifecta where we take our top 3 picks. Number 1, Papa Cap. Number 5, Epicenter. And number 8, Smile Happy. And we put those 2 in the top 2 positions. 1, 5, 8. And then in the third position, we're using all 6 horses that we talked about. The 1, 3, 5, 7, 8, and 10. That makes for a $12 trifecta play for our play of the race on the Risen Star this Saturday at the fairgrounds. Once again, we're kicking off our Road to the Derby handicapping challenge. And for those of you that are participating in the contest, we wish you the best of luck throughout the contest, which again will go through April 16th. The Grade 3 Lexington at Keeneland. That's the race Charismatic won before he won the Derby all those years ago, back in 1999. And that will be the end of our Road to the Derby Challenge handicapping contest. If you're taking part in the contest, good luck. We'll be back with future videos. Again, the next one will be March 5th, where we'll be highlighting the Fountain of Youth Stakes at Gulfstream in South Florida. So that is our look at the Risen Star at the fairgrounds for this Saturday coming up. And for all of us here at Harrah's Hoosier Park, I'm Michael Chamberlain, wishing the best of luck to you all.